Hello everyone and welcome to the Sideboard. I'm Glenn Jones, here with Lindsay Burley.
Hi.
Lindsay's a 3D Alterist who attends a number of our events. She's been to, I don't even know how many. Do you know? Do you have a count?
I don't have a count. I've been doing it for like 2 years now. Like, I don't even know.
Definitely double digits. Yeah, not as many as yours truly, but a significant number. Very popular, and you've diversified a lot since you started doing it.
I have, yeah.
You originally started out with a lot of like 3D tokens, was pretty much your jam.
Yeah.
And Legends for Commander.
Yep. And then
Enthusiast.
I started with the 3D stuff, Legends and stuff, and then I started doing custom art stuff
Yes.
that I was able to print out. And I was really interested in altered art and painting and playmats. And I've taught myself how to draw and paint. And I'm starting to get into the paint mods. I've been doing the playmats for like 6 months now, and the paint mods for like 2 months now. But like the 3D is still my main thing that I do.
Yeah. So, playmats, how long did it take you to start being able to do that? Because a lot of people have started adding that into what they were doing. It wasn't like their original.
I started doing the playmats like 2 months ago, and it took me a little bit of time because I taught myself how to draw. But I don't know if you're familiar with Pug's method of the paint mods. He does like a type of carbon copy,
Sure.
stencil type, but I thought about doing that with the playmats, and I figured out how to do that. So like I can do something, draw it up on like Photoshop or Illustrator,
Okay.
and then print it out and trace it on so that they're perfect every time, which is really cool.
Very nice, very
Yeah.
nice. What are some of the playmats you're prouder of that you've done?
I did a Nim Visit playmat. I actually just sold it this weekend, and I sold it to Chris King. He
Okay.
bought it because he wanted to color it in. I did it in black and white, and he's like, "Oh, I really just want to color that in. Can I just color it in?" I'm like, "I don't know. I really like it in black and white. I kind of want to keep it like that." And he's like,
Sure.
"I'll buy it." I'm like, "All right, sure. You can buy it and then color it in. Sounds good." So he's actually working on that right now, and it should be done by the end of the weekend.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'll take a picture of it.
Now, you've mentioned you do stuff with a lot of custom art. I've seen a lot of it. We have one of them here, which is a Kali the Vast, where she built her own layers on the artwork. And we'll probably be able to get you some other images similar to this Kali. So, what got you started on that, I guess I should say? Like, what was the genesis of that idea?
For the custom art ones, I wanted to be able to do the painted art, but I couldn't, I just couldn't draw. Like, I can't draw, I can't do that. How can I get people to have custom cards and not have to, get somebody to paint it and then ship it to me to scan it and then 3D? And I'm like,
Sure.
what if I just made my own custom stuff and printed it out? So I started doing the printouts, and they were a huge hit. And I was like, oh, cool. More custom. And then I started drawing on Photoshop, and that made me get more ideas for the custom cards.
Sure.
And eventually, I tell people, as long as I can find it on Google and find a reference image on it somewhere, I can probably get it onto a card for you.
And in 3D form.
And in 3D form.
I've noticed you've definitely had more and more of them each week, and I can only assume that it's been one of your most popular wares.
Yeah. I started out just doing a couple of them, like sexy anime girls. Everybody likes those. Why not? And then eventually I was selling more of the printouts than I was of the 3D cards. I think that's because the printouts are just a steady price. They're
Yeah.
always $15 no matter what you get, because it's just a printout. I don't have to take extra time into it.
Sure.
But the 3D cards, they can get up to $50 if you have the regular.
Enough copies of the actual card.
Right.
Yeah.
It can get up really expensive, but if you just want the same card, custom art, 3D, it's just $15.
Sure.
And I think that's why they're so popular.
I've seen a sort of combination of your idea and altering also popping up on eBay, which is more like sticker alters, basically.
Yeah.
Just very similar concept, but obviously
I
not
was-
in 3 dimensions.
They're not in 3D, and I was looking into them, and I can't for the life of me figure out what they do. And it's starting to bug me because I really want to be able to do the custom art, foiled, stickered 3D. I can't figure out what they use. I really just want to put them together, and I just can't figure it out.
So we've talked a lot about just basically what you're doing now with it. Let's just go way back in time.
Way back, oh gosh.
And when did you actually just get started altering cards?
When I first got started, I went to a local store in Hanover, PA,
Okay.
where I grew up. And somebody was 3Ding cards there. They were like, oh, cool, look at this is neat. And they were doing wolf tokens, the armored wolf, like M10 or something like that, I don't know. And I was like, oh, those are really, really neat. And he's like, yeah, you want me to make you one? I was like, I don't know. I think I could do it myself, probably. You know, it's okay. I'll figure it out myself. And on our way home, me and Anthony, I was like, hey, can we go to Walmart? I want to get like some of that tape stuff and like
Sure.
scalpel and see if I can make those 3D cards. And he's like, yeah, sure, you know, whatever. We'll go to Walmart and get those for you. And I'm like, sweet, yeah. And I started out with a Mer token, the Scars of Mirror Mer token. It was the first card I ever did, and it looked horrible. Oh my god, it was awful, so bad. And like I was like, oh, it looks really neat. Cool, let's do more. So I did more, and then like when he wasn't looking, I go into his binder that had legendary creatures, and I did some generals, and they started getting better and better. And then like I had binders full of cards.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, crap. What do I do with these? And I went to the SCG New Jersey event, and I started just trading them away. And people saw them. Jared came down and looked at them, like, and stuff like that. And they were a big hit. And like the trades that I got, I went and sold to the vendors, and I made like $50 for just trading cards. It was really cool. And I wanted to go to Atlanta, but it was too far away. Like I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, on their Facebook page, it says if you have permission, you can sell stuff. So why don't I just get permission? Why don't I just ask? So I emailed Jared and I was like, hey, can I come to your event and sell my cards? That was like on the Monday before the event. And then like the Thursday before the event, Thursday night, he emailed me back. He's like, oh, hey, I've seen some of your stuff. It's really cool. Sure, come down. Atlanta's like an 8-hour drive for me, and he tells me on Thursday that I can come down. Well, I'm like, oh, I gotta make more cards and make sure I have enough stuff. And then I came down, and that was my first event, and it was a really big hit. I think I made over like $600 on my first day, and like we had it stacked in 20s on the bed, and like
nice.
It was like doing something illegal, like drug deals or something, because like there were stacks of 20s all over the bed in the hotel room. It was a lot of fun, and it's just been going from there. Like this is what I do now, and it's lots of fun.
Yeah, if anyone goes by your booth at any of these events, they definitely know you don't come underprepared.
No, I have
So
a box. I think they're like 2,000 count boxes, the one with the 4 rows.
Sure.
And I fill that up. That can hold 140 cards. So I make sure that I have that box full. I have at least 140 cards every event.
So I know you said you had an altar you're really proud of that you did, and it's Ulasht. So why don't you just run the viewers through? We'll try and get an image up on the screen as well for you. But what's so special about Ulasht?
All right. Ulasht the Hate Seed is a Hydra, and it has tentacles going like everywhere, all over the place. Like they're in and out and all over the place. And when I first started, somebody wanted me to 3D a foil Ulasht the Hate Seed, and I was like, oh, no, I can't do that. But I don't want to like tell the person, no, I can't do that. So I was like, oh, it'll be like $160. So, you know, plus like I need like 20 copies of the card. So if you can give me all that, then yeah, sure, I'll do it. And he was like, oh, that's too much. I'm like, sorry. But it like became a goal for me to like do Ulasht the Hate Seed. So the Ulasht became a goal for me to do.
Sure.
So I started to try to trade for Ulasht the Hate Seed, and I realized that nobody cares about this card and nobody has it in their trade binder. Like it was impossible to find. I went to Star City. Star City did not have any Ulasht the Hate Seeds, like none. I was like, well, how am I supposed to get this card? I went to the buyers, and like after being here for like 2 years, like I'm kind of friends with the buyers. I'm like, hey guys, you are now buying Ulasht the Hate Seed for like a quarter to 75 cents a piece. It's $1 card. I'll pay you $1 for them each. You're buying this card, and they're like, okay. And like they've had people while they were looking for it, like they offered him 75 cents for the Ulasht, and the guy said no. And he's like, I had somebody say no to this, and I'm like, well, I don't know, I need them. So like after 6 months of looking, I got my 20 copies of Ulasht the Hate Seed. I'm like, all right. I sat down and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And I did it at an SCG event. and I started at the players meeting at whatever 10 a.m. whenever it starts, and I got it finished after round 3. So however long that is, that's how long it took me to do the Ulasht. And it came out awesome. Like, there was tentacles going from the front all the way to the back layer, and like they were all over the place, and they're little teeny tiny little things. It's awesome. I'll send you a picture of the final one. But it came out amazing. And last week I sold it for $50 because I had it on my table. I'm like, it's $50. Nobody plays Ulasht, so I get to keep this thing forever. It's awesome. And the guy came up and he's like, is that Ulasht the hate scene? I was like, yeah, it is. And he's like, is it 3D? I'm like, yeah, it's 3D. Look at it. It's got like 15 copies. It's really cool. It's $50 though. And he's like, he pulls out his wallet and he like looks through it and he's like, do you take credit card? I'm like, yeah, I do. And he's like thinking about it, looks at it, thinks about it, and he's like, quick, before I change my mind, take my credit card. And I'm like, okay. So he bought it and he really liked it and he like carried it around for the rest of the day. So it went to a good home, which is a good thing. It
Sure.
went to a good place.
Well, you conquered your white whale there, I guess.
Yeah, now I need to get a new one.
Fundamental sense. You need a new one. Well, if you have any ideas for a new one, you can go to Lindsay's Facebook pages. You have a gallery, I know. We linked to that on our fact sheet, so you can find it there. And what's your commission email?
My commission email is 3dalters@gmail.com.
That's pretty easy to remember. I think you
Yeah.
guys can manage that. So I'm going to go ahead and let Lindsay get back to her booth so she can continue to sell her excellent altars. Thanks for coming into the booth, Lindsay.
Thanks for having me.